First in high definition from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
Breaking news out of Norfolk tops WAVY News 10 at 5.
Police, fire, and hazmat crews are investigating a possible meth lab.
And this is unfolding at the intersection of Strand and Alexander Streets, where 10 on your side's Jason Marks is right now. Jason?
Yeah, Tom, still a very active scene. As you can see, the Norfolk bomb squad just got out here. They're going to use a robot to go into this house and to see what's inside this house. They do not want to send people in there, fearing that there could be some sort of explosion with the chemicals. Now, we've been out here for about a half an hour. We're actually blocked from the house in question here. So if we go to some video, and we'll show you what this house looks like on Strand Street. Now, Norfolk officials believe that inside that house could be a working meth lab. We're told earlier today they got a call from a woman who said her sister's boyfriend was cooking meth in the home. Crews quickly came down here. Now, they're taking their time. As we know, is an extremely volatile substance, so they don't want to rush into the bedroom in a shed where they believe that these chemicals are and then have something go up. So that's why they have the bomb squad out here. They have not yet gone into those two places. We've talked with some neighbors who just can't believe what's going on.
When you got meth, it is that we need to go ahead and do something about that there, because there's little kids out here that needs to be protected.
Yeah, and a lot of the neighbors are very fortunate that they say if there was a meth lab, they're very fortunate that did not go up. Now, obviously, the bomb squad's here. They're going to send that robot in and see what's inside a bedroom and a shed out and back. That's where they think the meth could be. They know there's some chemicals. They just don't know what it is. We do know that one person has been taken into police custody. So far, no charge, but that's the latest here in Norfolk. Of course, we're going to stay here on the scene. We'll have the latest for you coming up tonight on WAVY News 10 at 6, but for now, that's the latest. Jason Marks, 10 on your side.
In the meantime, tax refund troubles continue in Norfolk. Mo Money Taxes did not hand out those refund checks today as promised.
Angry customers waited outside the Granby Street location for hours. Many say the IRS confirmed their refunds have been deposited into the tax preparer's account. 10 on your side broke this story originally. Mo Money employees told us there was a software glitch. The CEO says the glitch has been fixed, but still no checks. 10 on your side's Ann McNamara has new information now. And is this company being investigated?
Nicole, this is the first day we've heard Norfolk Police Economic Crimes Unit is working with the Attorney General's office, and they're also working with the IRS to find out where these refund checks are. Now, the store has not opened yet today. You can see there is a line. There is a heavy police presence here. That is why people are getting into the line. But again, still, the door is locked. Mo Money Taxes CEO Marquis Granberry told 10 on your side 200 checks will be handed out at the Brambleton Avenue location Monday at noon. He said there would be armed security guards. When we got there, the business was boarded up and we found customers waiting in line. At noon, Granberry texted me the location switched to Granby Street. There we found locked doors and even more angry people.
He took my social security numbers from me and my kids. He took my account number, my routing number. He could do anything to me. Somebody in Memphis, Tennessee could be me right now.
We're not talking about small checks here. I have a line of people here. They're all going to tell you how much money they're owed. Ma'am, how much money?
$8,337.
$2,000. My girlfriend found
$4,500.
Sir, how much did you say you were owed?
$2,374.
How long are you going to wait here, sir?
Until they open.
And if they don't?
It's my money and I need it now.
Some of those angry customers called police.
And I'm curious as to why the police aren't involved with this as far as bringing this gentleman here to disperse our checks. It's not a police matter.
Shortly after, police arrived to control the crowd. What did you say about the IRS?
We do not work for them. That's all.
No.
Right, but you don't think this is a problem? Okay.
Thank you.
Customers who filed formal complaints with the IRS at the federal building downtown were told federal investigators are looking into what happened to the refund checks. Police say they alerted the IRS and the Attorney General's office about the problem.
Call the IRS. You'll get more mileage out of there than standing out here thinking these folks are going to open the door and start passing out checks.
But that's what they're still doing. Actually, a lot of people that are in this line have gone to the federal building downtown Norfolk. It's at 200 Granby Street. They filed a formal complaint with the IRS. The police say at this point that's the best you can do for yourself if you're like them and you're still waiting on a check. Now, 10 on Your Side went one step further. We contacted Congressman Bobby Scott. My colleague Andy Fox will have that story coming up at 5:30. You won't want to miss it. For now, live on Granby Street, I'm Ann McNamara, 10 on Your Side.
And you can find Ann's entire phone interview with Mo Money's CEO on WAVY.com tonight at 5:30. How one local congressman is responding to 10 on Your Side's investigation and why people would go to Mo Money for their taxes.
Well, hundreds turned out to say goodbye to the man we know as Uncle Pete. Pete Decker Jr. helped revive downtown Norfolk and raise huge sums of money for charity. Decker died Friday, and Ava Hurdle shows us an outpouring of love from this final farewell.
A familiar song for a man so familiar to many. So began a private funeral mass for Peter Decker Jr. at Blessed Sacrament Catholic Church. City leaders joined family and friends to celebrate Decker's life. The pastor called Decker a bridge builder.
Pete connected people with different people. The primary would be the awesome work that St. Jude's Hospital does. But everything else, and you think, yes, what did Pete do? Built the bridge between person and person, community and other communities.
Later at the Norfolk Waterside Marriott, Norfolk State University, where he served on its Board of Visitors, was represented by the Spartan Legion Marching Band. This as people headed into a remembrance for Decker. Norfolk Treasurer and former State House Speaker Tom Moss says Decker is hard to forget.
And everything he did always kept Norfolk first. In fact, many years ago when I was running, that was my campaign slogan, Norfolk first. But he epitomized the meaning of that.
Norfolk Mayor Paul Fraim recalled his charity work.
You know, we'll never know the many people who are grateful to him for the many tender mercies that he bestowed on them.
He says Decker not only loved helping people, but loved his family, too. In Norfolk, Ava Hurdle, 10 on Your Side.
Pete Decker was 76. In addition to his wife, Bess, he leaves behind 3 sons and 7 grandchildren.
His presidency changed the world. Ronald Reagan would have turned 101 years old today. In his 2 terms, President Reagan confronted mounting challenges from Cold War fears to an economic crisis. But the leader of the free world was almost taken down by a would-be assassin's bullet. Decades later, the man who pulled the trigger wants to live among us. 10 on Your Side's David Culver takes us back to that day and sheds light on an ongoing debate confronting many of us here in Hampton Roads.
Yeah, Nicole, it was one quick decision made by a Secret Service agent in the back of the presidential limousine. That likely prevented another American tragedy. Few people know the name Jerry Parr. He was a Secret Service agent assigned to protect President Reagan. His ultimate test came nearly 31 years ago, March 30th, 1981. A decisive moment that saved Reagan's life.
This is an NBC News special report.
When news first broke that someone opened fire on President Ronald Reagan, few people knew the whole truth. In less than 2 seconds, John Hinckley Jr. unloaded 6 rounds. In the video, 3 people clearly hit. The president, it seemed, saved. You can see Secret Service agent Jerry Parr tackling Reagan into the limousine. The car sped off to the White House. But along the way, an unplanned detour. In the back of the president's limousine, Parr noticed the president spitting up blood. He decided they needed to go to the hospital. Had Reagan not gone, he likely would have died. A bullet had pierced his side.
I mean, Ronald Reagan's life literally hung in the balance of a split second decision, and a mere inch.
NBC's John Chancellor updated America.
President Reagan is in good condition tonight in a Washington hospital after several hours of emergency surgery.
As for the young suspect, agents and police tackled Hinckley and took him into custody. They learned he was not part of a bigger plot. Instead, Hinckley was trying to impress actress Jodie Foster.
Remember, in 1981, he's a loner. He's a delusional loner. He plays the guitar by himself. He listens to music by himself. He gets very depressed. He's crisscrossing the country. His life is literally rending apart. On March 30th, 1981, he has nothing left. His parents have kicked him out of his home. He's alone. And look what he does.
Look what he does. Well, maybe you think the story ends there, but this 30-plus-year drama still unfolding. At 5:30, we're going to introduce you to two people. They live in a quiet Williamsburg neighborhood. John Hinckley Jr. visits there often. In fact, he was there this past Christmas. They do not want him to get too comfortable there. And at 6 tonight, the whole story, all of what we uncovered, plus we took local concerns to Washington, D.C. I'm David Culver. I hope you'll join me tonight at 6.
He was a local church employee and Cub Scout leader and trusted with dozens of children. Tonight at 5:30, why this man is behind bars, accused of breaking that trust.
And he's the star of a $1 million commercial. Meet the dog behind this winning Doritos Super Bowl ad. Plus reaction from the local man who is a lot richer tonight.
10 on Your Side is working to get answers after a woman says her baby ingested cocaine in a Virginia Beach motel room. How the health department is responding, and hear why police say they are not investigating.
It sounds like a crime, so why are police not investigating the motel where a mom says her baby found and chewed on a spoon coated with cocaine? It happened at this Motel 6 in Virginia Beach over the weekend. 11-month-old Jemai Portis is fine. 10 on Your Side worked all weekend, though, to get answers from the motel, and it only gave us a statement from their spokesperson in Texas. So today, we sent Stephanie Harris out to find what police and the health department are doing about it. Steph?
Well, Tom, as far as the police go, nothing. Virginia Beach police told me there is no investigation because there is no crime. They can't trace the spoon to anybody because they don't know how long it's been there. But that doesn't mean Motel 6 is off the hook. I went to the health department to find out what they're doing.
This is the spoon April Portis says her teething baby found in her motel room and put in his mouth.
And on the back of the spoon was all burnt up. And on the top of the spoon you can see all the residue from the cocaine on it.
Police say it's not a crime, but it would be a health code violation. So 10 on Your Side went to the health department, which has the power to pull a motel's permit.
So this would not be a reason to close that room or to close the hotel?
No, no.
Would it be reason for you to start inspecting more rooms?
Yes.
To put them on that?
Yes, we would do more room inspections as a result of this, yeah.
10 on Your Side learned the motel was due to be inspected this month. Unlike restaurants that are inspected at least every 3 months, hotels are inspected just one time a year. These are the last 2 inspections for Motel 6 on Euclid Road. Inspectors found no critical violations either time. Cigarette burns, stained mattresses, and dirty phones were about as bad as it got. But what if the health inspector had found the cocaine-covered spoon? I asked what the ramifications would be.
Well, in this particular case, we would get them to clean the room. We'll take the room offline, make sure that you clean the room properly before you rent this room to another occupant.
It's not considered a critical violation. When asked what would force a shutdown, the health supervisor told me something like bed bugs would force a shutdown of individual rooms. Mold or poor sanitation could shut down an entire hotel. She said drug paraphernalia in a room is not an imminent health threat, but April Portis' fears are more far-reaching.
Horrible, because I don't know if there could be a long-term effect from it.
Now, because of this complaint, the health department went to Motel 6 today. The inspector's not filed his report yet, but if there are violations, the motel will have 14 days to fix them. If not, an enforcement process will begin, which can lead to revoking the permit. Stephanie Harris, 10 on Your Side.
The Super Bowl commercial made a Virginia Beach man $1 million richer, and this Great Dane is the star. Hear how the dog, his owners, and the man who created this ad for Doritos, how they're reacting to the big score.
Great game last night. But for a lot of us, the Super Bowl is as much about the commercials as it is about the game.
That's especially true for a Virginia Beach man who won the Crash the Super Bowl commercial contest. We showed you this commercial last month when Jonathan Friedman was one of 5 finalists. His ad was one of 2 Doritos commercials chosen to air during last night's Super Bowl. A panel voted it their favorite, landing Friedman $1 million. 10 on Your Side's Melanie Woodrow is here with more. Melanie.
Nicole, Jonathan Friedman did not even know that he was in the top 2 until he saw the commercial air live like millions of Super Bowl viewers. Shortly after the Giants won, Friedman found out that he won $1 million. The only one who didn't have much to say about the win, the commercial star.
and Eli Manning has done it again.
This is a story about a Super Bowl win. In between plays.
That's a happy ending.
It started with one man's vision.
Huff is the Great Dane. He just has a lot of character. Derek, our lead actor, was phenomenal.
And $20.
Most of that was spent on dog treats and Doritos.
Joe DiGiulio lent Jonathan Friedman his Great Dane, Huff.
He's available for parties and bar mitzvahs, too.
While actor Derek Leoniduff and Friedman's brother Matt rounded out the crew.
Set reset last night when you watched the game.
The commercial's most difficult actor on set.
This is the star, this is Huff.
Is enjoying some attention as well. Huff the Great Dane DiGiulio has a Facebook page with more than 200 followers.
As soon as they made the top 5, my wife went ahead and put together the Facebook page and got together with Jonathan and Matt and worked on the website for them. Yeah, I know, you're there. We can't forget you, but you, I know.
Huff's Doritos bribery won over viewers, but in real life, he had to slim down for the role.
He's down to 1 Doritos a day, you know.
One bag or one chip?
one chip.
Big break, little to no bark. Not even after more than 100 million people saw Huff's acting debut.
He was oblivious.
Are you tired? Long night. How does it feel to be a big winner? No comment, huh?
An up-and-coming star who already knows how to handle the media.
I couldn't get a word out of him. Some production secrets. Jonathan's brother Matt moved Huff's paw and the Doritos were rubber banded in his mouth. Hear more from $1 Million winner Jonathan Friedman coming up tonight at 6, including the other big prize that he collected last night. Melanie Woodrow, 10 on your side.
Bring him snacks next time, Melanie. While Jonathan Friedman has already won $1 million, you can still vote for your favorite Super Bowl commercial. You'll find all of them on WAVY.com.
Now, in high definition, your Super for 10 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
Saw lots of sunshine to start the day, and of course the clouds have rolled in later on. It's kind of held the temperatures down during the afternoon hours once clouds started moving in. We're likely to see a couple of sprinkles, not too much more than that for most of the area. North Carolina, Outer Banks, you could see some light rain, a little more general rain, but as far as the rest of the region, it looks like it'll be mainly to the south side and southward. And for the south side, I don't think it's going to be that much. It'll likely be just a couple hundredths of an inch of rain, perhaps enough to wet down the streets, and that's about it. So some sprinkles for the most part overnight, a little bit more of a steady light rain across the Outer Banks. Here's what's going on at 9 o'clock. Southerly wind at 5 to 10 miles an hour. And again, you can see it's a little more generalized rain into North Carolina, 5 to 10 mile an hour winds at 2 o'clock in the morning. And at 7 o'clock in the morning, it's almost gone. In fact, our skies are almost clearing, and they do clear off, certainly by the noon hour. 10 mile an hour winds out of the north. Here's where we are at the end of the day. A light northerly wind, 5 to 10 miles an hour, and overnight we see some more clouds move on in. And what's going on with all of this? You can see a little bit of a puff of cloud cover right here. A little wind shift line is going to drop on through, and that will cool things off again for Wednesday. It'll cool back on down. A lot of cloud cover, but not much as far as rain. Doesn't look like anything as far as rain during the day coming up on Wednesday. Now again, clouds are moving in. They're moving right in at the camera. You can see they're mostly mid and high level clouds, but they'll get lower and lower during the overnight hours. And again, a sprinkle or two, but not too terribly much rain for the region. And most of it is going to happen overnight. You won't see it, and you'll wake up to perhaps some wet streets. Temperatures right now a bit on the cool side. 49 was the high in Norfolk, but we did hit the mid-50s into some inland areas for today. There's our low last night, 30. However, a lot of very cold readings inland, around 25 degrees in a lot of inland areas. Again, we're looking at temperatures right now around the 45 to 50 degree mark. And look at these temperatures last night, 25 to around 30 degrees. Very chilly, a little warmer at Cape Hatteras. Overnight, not nearly as cold. A good chance of rain for northeast North Carolina, 39, 40, then 48 degrees toward Cape Hatteras. 37, that should read 38, 39, 40, 41 for the south side. But not much as far as rain for the peninsula, 37 to 39, and some stars and some clouds around 35 to 38 for the Middle Peninsula, Northern Neck, Eastern Shore. 57 degrees for tomorrow. Sunshine, might see a couple of clouds in the morning. 54 on Wednesday, and then back on down into the mid-40s to around 50 by the weekend.
Police say someone abducted a woman from a grocery store parking lot. Here with detectives say the suspect made that victim do straight ahead.
The TSA unveiled a new full-body scanner tonight. 10 on Your Side shows you how it works and how it will protect your privacy when you fly. Ahead at 5:30.
A woman says a man abducted her at gunpoint from a parking lot in Virginia Beach, and tonight police are looking for that suspect. It happened around 9 o'clock last night at the Food Lion lot on Independence Boulevard. Detectives say the suspect took the victim to an ATM and forced her to withdraw money, then took her back to the Food Lion. That's where the victim escaped and called police. Officers later found the woman's car.
Nearly 2,000 local sailors are headed home. The Bataan Amphibious Ready Group returns tomorrow from a 10.5-month deployment. The USS Bataan and USS Mesa Verde will pull into Naval Station Norfolk. The USS Whidbey Island will return to Joint Expeditionary Base Little Creek Fort Story.
The maker of Legos has a new line out, but complaints are stacking up about the new building blocks. You'll find out why.
And do you enjoy a cocktail every now and then? It seems some people in Hampton Roads City, in one Hampton Roads city that is, well, they tend to enjoy them a little more than others. Find out which city ranked one of the drunkest in the country. New at 5:30.
The maker of those Lego building blocks, well, it has a new line out for girls now, but some parents are protesting the new blocks. Lego friends are curvier and less blocky, and they wear stylish clothes. The 5 female figures have jobs and come with play sets to build a beauty shop and a cafe. But some women's rights groups have started an online petition claiming the new Lego friends promote stereotypes.
Overall, it's a great idea for Lego to include girls, but they don't need to decide for them how they're going to include girls. They just need to make it more gender neutral.
The Denmark-based Lego group says the new line was based on 4 years of research into the ways that boys and girls play. The company says Lego Friends is also a response to a consumer demand, which included requests for more realistic figures and an interesting storyline. And there's plenty of interesting stories still to come because WAVY News 10 at 5:30 starts right now.